All right, so let's go over how we do this warm injection molding process that we have called the Bioclear Uveneer process. So we have our dentiform here, and then we have pre-chosen some Bioclear matrices to use, and we're going to be working on tooth number 8. So I'm going to slide my Bioclear matrix that I've already pre-fitted. This matrix is made for a central incisor, right over the tooth like that. You can kind of see how it fits. And then this is the distal one, again made for the distal of central incisors, and it fits right over that. What I'd like you to notice is how well this fits into the gum line and forms a seal under the gum line, so that you end up with actually a very knife edge or infinity edge margin under the gum, so it doesn't irritate the gum or cause any problems with the ledging when you floss. So there's our matrices in place. And then before I get started, I usually try in my Uveneer. I've already tried this on the tooth without the matrices, but now I want to see how it's going to slide in. And as you can see, I'm getting a little hung up as I try to go in. So I'm going to use a scissor, and I'm going to just cut a little space here on my distal matrix so that I can slide this in much easier. And you see how that fits and how that will make a nice template on the outside. We have the Bioclear matrices on the mesial and Bioclear matrix on the distal. And so we basically have this tooth surrounded so that our composite goes in nicely and also forms nicely. So we'll just take that out. So now let's go ahead and get started. So of course, you know, the first thing would be use your etch. I happen to use this Ultra Etch from Ultradent. And so we'd etch the tooth, rinse it off, of course, and then we would take our bonding agent and we'd put our bonding agent 360 degrees all over the tooth. And then at this point is when we start the Uveneer Bioclear process. So Dr. Nip is going to be assisting me, so he's going to hand me some warmed composite. So this composite flows very, very easily, so if you try to push too hard on this, it'll just squirt out really, really fast, so you have to learn how hard you have to push. So I slide it under the matrix on the mesial and try to go interproximal. And so I'm going to go ahead and inject some flowable composite there. Then I'm going to come along the gum line and inject some composite into my class 4. I bring it all the way up to the top and to the incisal edge like that. And then I go on the lingual and do the same thing. And it looks like that. And it looks like I've placed too much material, but I promise you I didn't. It's all in an effort to be able to warm injection mold with no voids. So we have our flowable composite in now. Next, Dr. Nip is going to hand me a syringe with our packable composite. And I do it this exact same way. I start on the mesial, and I'm actually trying to push this flowable composite out the lingual, along the facial into the distal, and then push all that flowable composite out the back side. And so I'm gonna just shape this a little bit with my plastic instrument. And then next, we're going to place our Uveneer. So with the Uveneer, I usually put a little bit of flowable composite right in the center to help it flow and to avoid any voids. And as you can see, I'm outside my injection molded veneer, and I want to slide under these Bioclear matrices. And then again, I'm pushing from the facial onto the surface of the tooth however you like this. And again, I have some excess. So I'm going to wipe away my excess with my plastic instrument. And you can also use brushes if you like. And you can see how neatly that will clean up. Next, I have some extra on the incisal edge. So I'm going to clear that away a little bit because it helps us get our Uveneer template off. And then I'm going to wipe away my excess here and wipe away my excess here. And that's kind of what it looks like. There's a little bit on the lingual. We'll clean that up. But you can see it went 360 degrees around that tooth. So it's a lot like if you were pressing porcelain. When you do Emax porcelain, you make a wax form first, then you actually burn the wax out and then press it into that to get your Emax crowns or veneers. And that's literally what we've done here with this process. So next, Dr. Nip's going to be nice enough for us to cure. So there you go. That is how we do the warm injection molding. So let's go ahead and take this all apart. So the first thing I do is I release my Bioclear matrices from the composite. Dr. Clark at the Bioclear Learning Center makes some nice instruments to do this with. And so we release the facial and then we release the lingual. And we can pull these out. There's one matrix out. There's another matrix out, and you get an idea how nicely all this is finished. Next, you'll have a little bit of excess material over the top of your Uveneer. But as you see, if we do a good job of cleaning it up, it may release for us without me taking a handpiece out. And then we have our Uveneer template off, and you can kind of see the surface of the tooth. It's very, very smooth. We have nice contours on the mesial, and we have nice contours on the distal. And so that's how we go. Now, one other thing that may pop up that I'd like to cover here is that sometimes you'll end up with this little slot here of where the Uveneer joined into the Bioclear matrix. And if we leave this like this when we go to finish, you may not have the right contour as you're coming into the gum line, especially if there's a triangle on the side. So what I usually do is I place some tooth colored composite in this, or the bonding agent in this little area, and then I go back with my flowable to fill that in. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And you can either use this scaler like I am and then tease it down in there to make sure, again, there's no voids. And if anything, leave it a little bit over contoured. I'm going to add some more right here. So when you go to finishing and polishing and shaping, you won't have to add at that point. Then at this point, we would cut off this excess on the incisal edge, and we blend in to each of the corners. We check our shape. On the lingual, we would just clean this up and bring it back into proper occlusion, but you can see how well it all got filled here, and then this is just our center area where we'll have to remove our excess. To each of the corners, we check our shape and then go ahead and polish from there. So that's kind of how you do the warm injection molding.